Alright, so this is the unboxing of a PXN-2119 HOTAS. This is the package it came in. It's a big, nondescript looking package. Slight bend right here in the box, I've noticed. I'm not sure if that's a shipping defect or if that's something that is meshing with the shape of the handset itself, but I'm going to check it out. Alright, so I have my trusty super tool here, like I was mentioning in my last one. Oh, one of the blades is a bit rusty, it looks like. Huh. Nope, that's just something on the stainless steel. Cool. It's supposed to be stainless. That's why it's stainless steel, because it doesn't get stained. Or so I used to think. And then I saw stainless steel rusting. That's really disturbing. So, regular blade, and we got an incision there. Looks like I didn't cut it enough. There's lots of padding on this box. My compliments to the person packing this. My Amazon review will reflect that. So, before we get any further, I'm going to put this away. I do not want to cut myself on this. So here you can see that it is in bubble wrap. Again, very nice to see. It is folded there. It's not really taped up or anything, but that's no big worry. There's the bag. We can just put that aside. So the bubble wrap here, take that off, unroll it a bit. Ooh. And finally, the bubble wrap is off the bubble. You know, I still haven't popped all the bubble wrap from the last one, from the last unboxing I did. And bubble wrap popping is fun, so I should do that. So yeah, as I thought, the box is crinkled. Due to packaging, or shipping rather, due to shipping. I'm guessing it was mishandled at some point. You can see there some Chinese lettering, 2 flight control system, and some random stuff describing it along here. You can see here's the 2 units there, and what looks like a helicopter up here in this corner. I don't know if you can see that. And some more views of the product here in the back. And you can see the 2 units. PXN Technologies Corporation Limited, or PXN Electronics Technology Corporation Limited, Shenzhen. Huh. Okay. So if you look at the top here, it's got this nice carry handle. It's really a shame. This is a nice box. We could, use it as a carry case, but this is HOTAS. It's going to sit on your desk. So it's not going to be used for that. We have these 2 little thingies here, and looks like this is going to be a little stubborn. There. Box is finally open, and now we can flip those. There is the driver CD, mini CD it was supposed to come with, along with what looks like a quick start guide in Mandarin or something. I'm going to look at that later. I do not read Mandarin, so hopefully that is not an issue. Here it is. Looks very nice. Looks very intimidating in the box. Can you see that there? Yeah, you can see that. It's very nice and shiny red. Yeah, cool. Alright, so let's take that boxing out. And here is the unit itself. Wow, that is intimidating to look at. Okay, as I thought, the box crinkling did not affect the handset at all. Wow, it's much bigger in real life than I would have thought. So here's the joystick unit. And this here, we got this little throttle doohickey on the bottom. Dual triggers, one for your pinky finger down here, one for your this. The hat switch feels nice. Very clicky. You know, I was looking at pictures of this and I wasn't sure if it was going to be really comfortable for the thumb to rest on here, but in real life it's actually very comfortable for the thumb, and I'm glad I made that call. The joystick itself is made of that, or it's surfaced with that kind of rubbery feeling plastic. In the early days of that being used, it would get sticky after 5 or 10 years of constant use, you know, being exposed to sunlight and such if you didn't wash it. And I'm a little concerned with that here, but I don't think that's going to be a concern. I don't know. I'll update later, but this is nice. It's got a little dust shield around the bottom here, a little rubberized cover. You can see the bottom here has little lug nuts around the plastic cover for the potentiometers, I guess. This feels good. It does have twist. Not too much range on the twist, but that's okay. These are also very clicky buttons. And if you look at the front here, it's got a standard USB. This is a plastic non-braided cable. Sorry, you couldn't see that there. And right here, I'm guessing you have the port for the throttle unit, which is still in the box. So, toss that. So we'll leave the bag on top of this for now. Unit has little suction cups on the bottom, vibration on and off. I'm not sure entirely what that's all about. See, vibration on and off, there's a little switch right there. Very clicky again. Little Phillips heads if I need to take it apart at some point. I'm hoping I don't. I've heard there's some quality control issues with this, but that was a number of years ago. Things probably have changed, and there have been very few complaints about this unit, so I am hopeful about it. Alright, put that down. Sure. Everything. You know, that throttle at the bottom that I'm probably going to use for mixture or something is actually very, has a little more tension on it than I would have thought. Right at the bottom it has a lot less tension, so I'm guessing it's spring-loaded tension, which would make sense given how inexpensive or economical this unit is, but it's, you can see right there. So it's kind of looser right there, but along here it's a lot more, it's like pushing something through motor oil. It's like pushing something along concrete floor through motor oil, and then you get down here and it's like you just went from motor oil to antifreeze, and it's kind of a weird feeling, but you know, you can get used to that. It's got this kind of funky design along it, little fullers right there. Guess you can't, oh yeah, you can see it in the shadows on camera. It's got this neat little plus minus design on it. Not too big of a deal. Let's look at the throttle unit. Wow, this is bigger and lighter in real life than I thought it would be. So, it is bagged. How on earth are we going to, there's a little bit of the bag coming off here. You know, this little part right here reminds me, I guess you can't see it due to the way it's designed and the matte color of the hand piece here, but it's got this little grid or bridges all along here, and that actually reminds me of a much more expensive North American sourced unit that I've seen. First impression, it's actually a little stiff. I think there's a tension screw along the side here to help with that stiffness, so we'll be playing around with that later. Looking on top here, we have 3 buttons, 1, 2, and 3. Not as clicky, but They have a little bit of stiffness to them, which provides a bit of satisfaction when you're tapping on them. Here you have the mode button, button number 13. Oh, all the buttons seem to be specifically labeled. That's nice. You have a hat switch right here. Another 8-direction hat switch, just like you have on the joystick unit. So I guess you would position your hand like this and use the hat switch with your index finger. Here you have a couple of little adjustment knobs. I guess I'm going to use them for trim or, you know, vibrators or whatever. Anyways, that's what you have there. As I thought, that funny port on the joystick does indeed match to this port on the throttle unit. Get rid of that. Yeah, see, little thing. It looks a little bit in passing like a PS2 port. It's not, but kind of looks like it. And yeah, like I said, there's this here whole design of, I think it's a J35 or something like that, J22 on the side there. Obvious nationalism is obvious. Huh. What do you expect? It's a Chinese unit. Probably comes in Mandarin by default or something. I've heard that if you plug in the joystick separately, without plugging the throttle unit in, that the driver software has an alternate English mode. If that's true, then I'm going to do that. Put in the driver, or put in the USB port. I'm going to learn the driver software, and then I'm actually going to plug in the throttle unit and do them together. If that still doesn't work, then there is an English patch running around on the internet, and I'm going to track that down. This unit does not have the suction cups on the bottom. However, it does have these rubbery feet with a kind of diamond cut pattern. I don't know if you can see that on the bottom of the unit. That's all that's there except for these little Phillips head holes here for the tension screw. And mine is this way, positive is this way, so I guess we turn that. Woo, that's very stiff and has a lot of detente, very clicky action there. It's very satisfying to use, so let's take that down a few pegs. Okay, that's a little less force. We'll take it down a little more. It's just a tiny bit less. Okay, something I didn't notice here, I don't think this is pictured on the internet, right at the bottom here. Below the obvious Chinese F-35 knockoff is this PXN logo in bright orange, which is a color that is nowhere else on the unit. That is interesting. Apparently this mode button, what it does is it changes the binds for each of these others, so it's like it's almost like a shift key. What it does is apparently it turns your 18 buttons, I think it was, into something like whatever 18 times 3 is. I think that's like 50. Yeah, that would make sense because this is a Chinese knockoff of the X52. So if this had 52 buttons, that would make perfect sense, wouldn't it? I don't think it's 52 buttons, though. I don't think 18 times 3 is 52. Because 8 times 3 is 24, isn't it? Yeah, it's 24. And 3 times 10 is 30. So yeah, 54 buttons. So the Chinese knockoff of the X52 has 54 buttons. What? Anyways, this here, again, very pleasantly clicky, and it requires a little less force now, so we'll turn it down even further. Okay, yeah, that's pretty close now. This is still a little stiff to be used as like the collective on a helicopter game, so I'm going to turn it down yet more. It's starting to get stiff, so I'm starting to wonder if it's getting horseshoed in there, or if the tension spring is getting horseshoed, but this thing is getting looser, so I'm thinking that it's actually having a very noticeable effect. I've read online that this thing does not have a very noticeable effect. In my experience, this seems to have a very noticeable effect. A little bit of a quality control niggle on this knob here is the injection molded plastic on it. I know you can't see it there, but there's a little nub in the plastic there. It's not really a huge concern, just kind of something to look at. Power source information. Power source DC 5 volts, working current, blah blah blah. Recycled material, or recyclable, so yay. There is no tension screw for this thing, so I suppose you would have to loosen all these lugs, take the entire thing out, and work with the potentiometers if you knew how to do that. So either I'll figure it out if I need to, or it'll work straight out of the box, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for, because I am absolutely stupid when it comes to that in particular. Not very encouraging on the low amount of twist, but it's there in the first place, which is kind of what you want, and twist is usually used for rudder, so that's okay. Another hat switch, very clicky there. Now let's look at the quick start guide here. First thing I notice, mini disc here, the PXN logo kind of partially obscured by the paper, is also that bright orange that we saw on the throttle unit. It's almost a safety orange if I had to. It's a little darker than that though. If I had to guess, it also has a couple of QR codes here, so maybe I'll try scanning them later. I don't know what'll come up. Probably something I can't read. So yeah, if we look at this, there's a picture of the unit itself, or the units themselves, and so now we'll open this up. Okay, yeah, that's the mini disc there. Put that there. And here we have the, what I assume is the quick start guide. Okay, we have what looks to be like a warranty card, and yeah, you would send in information and stuff if you read any of that. 10. Maybe this is like a 10-year warranty or 10-year plan, maybe upgrade in 10 years. I don't know what that means. A circle with 2 arrows. Anyways, there's this. So, yeah, this shows where the buttons are. Oh, and this shows pictures of the driver software that's included on that disc. Okay, yeah, you can see a picture there. It's all in Mandarin. It says keyboard settings right there. So, yeah, it's... Why does this has a really weird wave on it? You see that? Yeah. It has a really weird wave form. And so, okay, here it is in English again. Flight control system user manual. 8-way hat, yeah. Product overview, blah, blah, blah. Product applications, plug throttle unit into the port of joystick, and plug the USB of joystick into PC port on the driver and computer and test the product. XP instructions, you can start to access. Okay, so this describes how to download the driver installation program. This describes exactly the steps in order to start putting that in. These are your typical, what the buttons are typically used for. Illustrator. Oh, okay, so apparently the driver software comes in English. That is really good. Wait, what's this talking about? Blue LED right here. Will illuminate, indicating if you intend to map Q key of keyboard to button 1 on flight stick, press mode button once, the blue LED, so this thing right here, blue LED on the side of the flight unit, or on the side of the throttle unit, will illuminate, blah, blah, blah. Intend to map the key, the P key, press save, testing vibration. This is also in English. Huh. This is all in English. Okay, so this is very bilingual. I mean, it's obvious that English is secondary, but this is bilingual. I am very pleased with this. And attentions, avoid fierce vibration. Don't take apart, revise and mend by yourself. I've heard of people doing that. I don't know that I do that myself, but you know, it's pretty intimidating to look at. There's probably a lot going on inside, and I don't know. People feel like they can take things apart, but don't let water or other liquid entering inside of the gamepad to make any damages. Well, that makes sense. Liquid-cooled HOTAS. Here we come, right? Product size, product specifications. Control stick is calibrated. Okay. Apparently, the joystick does have an auto center function. I was slightly curious about that because there wasn't a whole lot of information. And so yeah, there's the quick start guide. That has been unboxing PXN-2119 to HOTAS from China. And apparently this is the ripoff of a SciTech X52. I have to say I am very pleased, except perhaps with the obvious seams on here. I mean, it is injection molded plastic, so it's, I realize you can't see that with the shadow on the camera there, but there are very big obvious seams here. Maybe that's a common thing or something. I don't think it is, but that's really the only major standout that I'm going to notice day to day when I use this. It looks like a very decent buy right now, and I will update at a later point in time when this is all better. So, thank you.